I'm not dead. Isn't that exciting? I got sick a couple months ago and then just kind of kept forgetting to record. And I kept forgetting and forgetting for a long time. Till I remembered and I felt like making stuff again. I got impatient for the Splatoon 3 DLC side order. So I decided to read every single comment that you guys left on my theory video, because you guys seem to really like that video. And I just like talking about theories and bouncing off ideas. Towards the end of this video, I will be giving a new theory that I have, as well as talking about my thoughts on Wave 1, which that discussion will be very short, because it is Wave 1. When I say I read every comment, I mean I read every comment, all 73 current comments at the time of writing and recording this video, all 73. It was like 68 when I started writing, and now it's 73, so thank you guys for commenting. I read all 73. Of course, not all of them will be in this video. Some of them are just saying it's a good video, and some of them aren't even theory comments at all. But I will mention this one here. Adrian Corpus Avila, cool for cool. I'm going to butcher most of these names. Oh boy. So the first comment we'll start off with is from Alsaloy, saying, I genuinely cannot see the black spikes. I see a room with white pillars. So this one is interesting because it's one of those things where you can see two images if you look at different places in the picture. You can also see the white pillars, but the black spikes I think are the main focal point here. Matthew Goodman thinks the DLC will have a hospital theme, seeing brain and blood vessels throughout the video. Matthew also said that maybe the ink tank would be a blood bag, which would be really interesting. This theory, idea, the hospital theme could still be there with the cloning theory. Maybe the idea we are in a hospital is for clones. I personally still like to think it's just a clone facility. Next up we got lanterns. The white stuff in the lobby might be marine snow. And then they give a handy-dandy explanation as to what marine snow is. Basically, it being bacteria and other organic materials from the upper layers of the ocean floating down where it forms a layer of white snow. I've never actually heard this theory before, and it's actually quite an interesting one. My problem with it is that marine snow happens underwater, and so does bleached coral. And now thinking about it, that might just ruin the bleached coral theory. Quick rundown of bleached coral. When water is too warm, corals will expel the algae living in their tissues, causing the coral to turn completely white. There is no water around this supposed coral. Now, this is Splatoon. We do have a talking bear who tried to commit genocide. So both the marine snow and bleached coral are still completely valid, but it seems more and more unlikely when you consider that this isn't underwater. I'm gonna butcher this one. Paris Herring has 3 interesting points they brought up. They brought up how it might take place in the giant city we see in the opening train scene, which would be really interesting, being able to explore another area, but I believe the big city in the background is just an asset, or is supposed to represent Splatsville. They also brought up how the image with the spike looks like an eye. Again, that imagery can be seen as different things, which is amazing to me. And the third thing, they theorize that the story will have the losing team of the Final Fest being the main catalyst, which I personally disagree with. I do think Order will be some kind of thing we're there to destroy. I think it will be a theme, but I don't think we'll be working with Order, or helping Order, or seeing what would have happened if Order won the Splatfest. I don't think that's the theming at all. I think Chaos is there to destroy what Order is left. Just stick it to him. And I'll get to why I dislike the entire idea of just a what-if scenario later. I promise I'll get to it later. Nick G gave me a lot of questions to think about, my favorite being, why did the characters leave Inkopolis and move to the Splatlands? Most were for business reasons, like Sheldon, Spike, and Merch. Pearl and Marina left to go on tour. As for the other shop owners, it really is a mystery where they went. And I really don't have an answer as to where some of them went. I have no idea. Vice Scent has hopes that Orca will make a return. I do agree with them that Orca was underutilized, but I'm pretty sure it was just an AI from a forgotten time. It was pretty cool that it was there, but it's probably gonna stay there. Spade gives an explanation for the in-the-head theory, saying how in the art book, 8 was described as seeing everything as symmetrical, simple, and orderly, and how the plaza door and the tower are oddly square and symmetrical. To me, it's all in the head theory is a lot like dream theory, where anything can be written off or just explained by it was all in the head, it was a dream, which is just kind of boring to theorize. I mean, it could 100% possibly be true. It is a theory after all. But that's why I don't like doing dream theories or in the head theories, because it just can explain anything and then you don't have any fun with it, you know? I do think memories will play some sort of role, a lot like men cakes, but I think just more literal, if you know what I mean. Like, we'll just see a memory, or we'll be learning about memories through text. We won't have little cakes we write poems for, so, you know, who knows. Mouse brings up how I said that there wasn't a what if Callie won the Splatfest, and how Callie losing made her be mind controlled, and if she had won, the opposite would have happened, having Marie be mind controlled. The events of Splatoon 1 caused the events of Splatoon 2 to happen. We learn that because Marie won the Splatfest, the cousins start to split, and they start to distance themselves from each other because Marie gets so popular because she won. So Callie goes to the people that she thinks are just misunderstood, kind of like her, to the Octarians, where she gets blah 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 brainwashed. The same thing would not have happened if Marie lost. Let's say it starts the same. The cousins start to distance, right? But then it's that point in their personalities. Marie would not have gone to the Octarians because she doesn't have that same thought of them at that moment. She doesn't think that they're misunderstood and that she should go visit them. This story would not play out the same. She wouldn't be brainwashed because DJ Octavio is too simple-minded to think of the idea until Callie is at his doorstep being like, yo, you're misunderstood, we should write music together. But I do not think at all that the story would have played out the exact same way if Callie had won the Splatfest. Because you lost. Callie lost. That is final. It's like losing a sports game. Your sports team has lost the sports game. Gotta wait till next season to win the sports game because you lost the sports game. There was no what if I won the sports game. That's not how that works. This segues into why I really dislike what if Order won. I will now explain that. Because Order lost, there shouldn't be a what if Order won DLC because you lost. Order lost. I was a Team Chaos, and I'm not rubbing it in any Team Order's faces. However, you guys lost. Deal with it. I had to deal with Chicken winning twice. So deal with losing the final fest. That's all I'm going to say. I very much dislike a what if scenario because of the other fest that we saw had defining traits, and now Splatoon 2's thing is about to have defining traits, and now I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I do think, again, Order will be there as a theme to destroy. We're gonna destroy Order, okay? Chaos won. We're gonna win again. That's how this DLC is going to go. I went on a tangent of why I hate the what if scenarios, okay? It's driving me insane. As editing this video again, because the comments went from, 72 to 77, so I had to read a few more. But also a few of the comments mentioned how it was practically confirmed that Nintendo said that this is a what-if scenario. Now I have it pulled up here, the exact quote. Challenge yourself to a new single-player campaign, Side Order. See what has happened to Inkopolis Square from the Splatoon 2 game, and what would have happened if Order thwarted Chaos to rule the city. Now, I know this practically confirms the what-if scenario that a lot of people are pushing for, but me, I am simply gonna look the other direction because I don't like the what if, because like if it is a what if and it's all hypothetical, and this is all in the head, if we combine what if with head theory, then what's even the point? This adds no basis lore, but then also how is Pearl and Marina physically there in the Inkopolis Square? It's just, The what if theory is supported here, obviously, by Nintendo saying this specifically. Even the bleached coral theory and this being the physical actual Inkopolis Square supported here, because on their different website it says this is the, let me find the exact quote here, there we go. A new single-player campaign called Side Order is coming in the second wave of this DLC. See what has happened to Inkopolis Square, the central area featured in the Splatoon 2 game. That one supports Bleached Coral Theory, or that this area is the Splatoon 2 area of Inkopolis Square. So, yes, with all these little all these little things that Nintendo has posted in their advertisements does kind of support the what if and support that this isn't just a made test facility. But you know what I say? No, I'm gonna look away. Because the thing is, sometimes these little things are just made to spice up the thing. Now, totally could be what if. Totally could be that this is actually Inkopolis Square, not just a fake thing made out of bleached coral or marine snow or whatever. But you know what? I'm gonna have fun with my theories, even if this is supporting the what if theory that I dislike. I'm still gonna look the other way. I see you, what if people. I see you. I don't like it. I don't like the theory, but I see you. So that's where I'm gonna leave the what if talk. Sorry I interrupted myself. I interrupt myself later in the video because so many things happened while I was editing this, and I've only been editing this for like a week. And so many things happened. So sorry if I interrupt myself again. Back to me talking. Out of that rant, a fun comment from CalGal saying that my Marie cloning theory could be possible now that you can see her in Alterna while she's performing for Splatfests. However, they also debunk it in the same sentence, saying it could just be Nintendo not caring enough, which is totally plausible. However, it would be really funny if the performer Marie and the Alterna Marie were clones, as well as Callie, and then the DLC just explains, well, there's two of them, and that they just kind of agreed one would perform and one would do agent stuff. That would be very funny. However, I don't think that's what's gonna happen at all, but it would be funny. The last comment I want to talk about is from Michael Chen, saying, cloning agents, Judd, but nobody mentioned Marigold. We don't know much about them, but she could be a villain. For me, I don't think Marigold is the villain at all, but she is an interesting topic. Sunken Scroll 24 gives us the most information about Marigold, showing 3 ID cards from different regions and places. All 3 look like Marigold, with different hairstyles and slightly different faces. The thing that makes me kind of support that Marigold is a clone is the wording. Subject name Marigold. Why is it worded like that? I wouldn't call anyone subject unless they were part of some kind of experiment. The only other time we hear the name Marigold, and actually where we get it from besides the Sunken Scroll, is the table turf cards. I pulled out the table turf cards for this. The staff member in the table turf card is the Marigold from Crab and Go, the one that gives you the food and stuff. That staff member could be the original Marigold, and the other 2 could be clones. If Marigold is a clone, then these clones are way more powerful than we thought. They look exactly the same, not a single defect. Their models are the exact same except for the clothes they are wearing. They even use the same speech patterns. All 3 staff members call you sweetie or dearie, and they all go he a lot. So if they are clones, that's really interesting. Or they are just one person stalking you, so they know where to be, so they can help you at all times, which I feel like is creepier. And the thing that kind of debunks the clone theory is the Splatoon 1 lobby, where the one that runs the recon area and the one that runs the table turf area are quite close together, and you cannot see both of them at the same time. One always unloads, which kind of confirms that it is just a lady watching you, knowing where you are, to help you. Play some table turf. That wraps it up for the comments I wanted to, well, comment on. They're all very good theories, and all of them are totally plausibly true, or just not gonna happen. They are all theories after all, and everyone is entitled to their own thoughts and their own thinking of how this story will play out by the very minimal context clues that we have been given. Now, for my thoughts on the Wave 1 DLC. Wave 1 is exactly what I thought it would be. You can do the parkour jump I really wanted to do, so it's instantly an A+ thing for me. Also, it feels way creepier during Big Run. You can hear other people fighting Salmonids protecting the city. And experiencing the Splatfest in that lobby was just amazing, because when I was a child, I got the game after Splatfests were done in Splatoon 1, so I did not get to experience them at all. I do enjoy how the Squid Sisters change colors. They don't want to fully support a team because they agreed they'd always be together and not really opposing each other. Overall, I enjoy Wave 1, but it's not enough for me to recommend the DLC to another player. I'm sure when Wave 2 comes out, I'll be recommending the DLC to everyone. However, it is just a lobby skin, so you know, and a couple bucks and ability chunks. That's really it. Oh well, hopefully Wave 2 makes me recommend this to people. Now it is time for my new theories, because while I was writing the script, what I said earlier, my brain realized something. The bleached coral theory doesn't make any sense, does it? Because it really doesn't. It happens underwater. Same with the marine snow. It happens underwater. And it started to get me thinking, what else could this possibly be? Something that could thrive above water in almost any condition, could be grown anywhere, shaped anywhere, and just have kind of the same properties that we see in the trailers. And then it hit me. Fungus. White coral fungus. Or just fungus in general. Fungus can include mold and mushrooms, and there are a ton of different kinds. Fungi can also reproduce asexually, basically meaning they clone themselves. There's even fungi that can mind control other living species, and Splatoon really seems to like to do mind control. Fungi can grow on almost any surface and doesn't need much to grow depending on the type. So what if all this stuff is actually fungus? I think it would be really interesting, and even that random patterns we see in the trailer kind of look like patterns that can happen on fungi. So I pitch you, the audience, a brand new theory. All this stuff that we see isn't bleached coral or marine snow. It's fungus. That's what I have for you, is fungus. I have heard no one else talk about it at all, but I raise you fungus. Also, while editing this, the update for Sizzle Season came out, and there was a leak in the files about side order, about one of the rewards you might get. So, if you care for spoilers, thank you all for watching. Now that all the people that do not care about spoilers are still here, I'm going to tell you what the files were. It seems to be the Inkopolis Square from Splatoon 2 is one of the rewards you can get from side order. That is what is in the files, that is what people see. It might not be the only reward, but it is a reward. What this tells me is that I was right. I was thinking that this was going to happen. It just makes sense. It's the third game. It's the final game. So of course we would unlock it. But that also means that we'll get all of the characters back. They'll still be in their shops, which then tells me something, that this area that we see in the trailer with all this white fungus, gotta call it white fungus now, is fake. It's all made out of white fungus. It's fake. The real Inkopolis Square is elsewhere, and it's still kind of thriving a bit. But this one that we see in the trailer is fake. Why is it fake? I don't know. I really hope it's not in the mind theory, because those are kind of boring, like I said, boring theories. But they're still possible. It's still possible. I like this is a fake fungus facility made for processing clones, and this area is a training facility that trains the Octolings and maybe even Inkling clones how to deal with combat. That's my theory. As the year continues, I get more and more excited for Side Order DLC. I hope we get more news soon. My guess we'll get something in June during maybe a summer direct. I don't know. Nintendo is mysterious and leaves us all questioning. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, whenever that may be. See ya.